All right, folks. So I wasn't going to do this, but I guess I'll have to do it now that I'm starting to see that everybody and their mother's doing it. People who you would think would be sort of wise enough to avoid stepping in this nightmare of crap. But since they weren't, and they got to issue their 2 cents and all this kind of crap and start lecturing people, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I figured, there was enough people talking about it already. I didn't want to, sort of just be yet another voice in the whirlwind, but now I'm kind of gotta go, okay, fine, let's just go ahead and do this. Since it's worse than I thought. Look, I'll make this short. I'm going to keep this short. I've thought about this a lot. Recorded and thrown away a lot of audio about this. I'll keep it short, promise me. Liz, the highlights of this whole thing with this 5 cops that got killed and the 7 cops that got shot and the other 3 cops that were shot in different states, and Black Lives Matter movement, and Bill de Blasio yapping, and Bill Bratton, the New York Police Department Commissioner, yapping, and every freaking editorialist and commentary and news reporter and whatever yapping, and every protester yapping is basically this. Yapping is not solving the issue. The issue is that white cops are shooting blacks and getting away with it. That is the issue. Now, if it's a black cop shooting black and getting away with it, that's another problem. If it's a black shooting a black cop, if it's a black black criminal shooting a black innocent black citizen, that's a 4th problem, 5th problem. If it's a vigilante group shooting, some criminal blacks or whites or whatever, that's yet another problem. But the problem is that people are now starting to try to hide and mix and stir up crap so they can avoid the issue. The issue is this, and it is simple. White cops are getting away with shooting blacks, and in their arrest proceedings and on the streets, they're getting away with it. They're getting away with murder, and that is the problem. That's why Black Lives Matter is on the radar. That's why people can't avoid Black Lives Matter. That is why when you start talking about join the cops, okay, you're not solving the problem, because it's not the new cops or even the old cops that are not shooting blacks that are not the problem. It's the cops that are shooting blacks that are the problem. Okay, you're not going to solve the problem with white cops shooting blacks on the street and get away with murder by hiring new cops. You need to get rid of the old cops or deal with the old cops that are causing the problem. But the major issue is you need to find out why it's okay for them to shoot blacks in the first place. If you've got 2 cops sitting on top of a black guy lying on the street, why is it okay for one of those cops to pull a gun and shoot him? If you've got 2 cops standing next to a car with a man and a woman sitting in the car at a traffic stop, why is it okay for one of those cops to pull out a gun and shoot the driver? That's the issue. And you're not solving or avoiding or dealing or anything but bullshitting when you start bringing it, 4,000 blacks get shot by other blacks, so the odds that you're going to get shot by a cop are very low because it's only 100 or 200 a year. That's not the issue. The issue is not that blacks don't get involved with the police, or that they don't want to be seen as snitches, or they don't want to be they want to take care of the problems themselves. That's not the issue. The issue is, why are white cops shooting blacks in these arrests and traffic stops and getting away with murder? That's the issue. Focus on the issue and stop trying to avoid and duck and dodge the problem. That's really all I'm going to say. I think that is the one thing that you are seeing here is too many people avoiding, trying to hide, cower, cover, paper up, deflect criticism, reflect the criticism back on those that are criticizing them, instead of dealing with that one problem, and that is the fucking problem. Now, after that, having said that, the other issue is, hey, maybe some of these blacks need to be shot, right? Let's get down and dirty with it, okay? No one, and no race, no ethnicity anywhere is free of criminals and free of bad people who don't need to be shot, okay? Let's get to the other side of that coin right there and look at the fact that, sure, there's a lot of black criminals and there's a lot of criminals of all ethnicities, all races who engage in bad things. And technically, legally, we all have the right to self-defense. There's no question about it. Okay, sometimes that means that sometimes people get shot who deserve to get shot, and they shouldn't, and the people who shoot them shouldn't get punished. Okay? The question is, does that really apply to an officer who's holding down a suspect on the ground, or a guy who's sitting in a car? An officer standing next to a car, and he says, I see a gun, so I shot. Does that make sense? Does that really make sense? Okay, that's the issue that we need to look at. And if not, then it's a matter of police training, police procedures, that are inherently bad, and the police management, the mayor, whatever, sitting here saying, oh, we're only shooting, 5% of the number of blacks that get shot each year, or we want to protect our police officers because they're such hardworking people and all this kind of crap. I said, the line here isn't that thick or gray. You pull out a gun and shoot somebody, you better have a damn good reason for doing it. That's the first thing. Okay? Second thing is, and I think this is a part that isn't really being looked at closely enough, you'd better have no other real options than to do it. Okay? If you have other real options, you should use them. If we as a people shot people as our first line of solution, there would be a hell of a lot more shootings. We all have to deal with the fact that we can't just go shooting people because we have problems with them. The police can't do that either. We have to have a better police training or something so that these cops are not pulling out their guns and blowing people away to solve their problems. I don't care if they are afraid for their lives. They're cops. That's their job. They're supposed to be afraid for their lives. They put on a gun and a badge, walk down the street. You should be afraid for your life. That's life. That's how it is. That's why you get paid a lot of money. That's why you get so many perks in society. You don't get to shoot somebody just because you're afraid for your life. You need to handle that situation in a better manner because you are a police officer and you do have all kinds of police powers. Shooting people anybody can do that, okay? I can walk up to somebody and shoot them and say, I was afraid for my life. They made me afraid or something. I thought they were reaching for a gun. I didn't know what they had in their pocket. I can do that right now. You know what would happen if I did that? I'd be accused of murder. I'd be locked up. I'd be arrested and locked up for murder if I did that. Police do it. It's like, we were afraid for our lives. I feared for my life, so it was okay. That is where the problem is. Right there, in my opinion. Right there. That the cops are getting away with shit that would get the average citizen locked up in seconds. And even this one guy in Brooklyn who shot this guy in this road rage incident, I'll be honest with you, I don't think that what he did was wrong. I think it's just a quirk of political correctness that he's being charged, or he's going to get charged for shooting this guy. And I think if there's a justified shooting that I've seen in the past week, that was it. Guy follows you for 2 blocks behind I cut you off, whatever. Follows you at midnight in New York for 2 blocks, gets out of his car, runs up to your window. I'd shoot him in the fucking head too. I'd have shot him 4 times myself. Why should you wait till the guy gets right up in your face and hits you before you shoot him in self-defense in the middle of a city street in the middle of the night? What kind of nonsense is that? Okay, but that's my point. If it was the average citizen, you would have been accused of murder because he didn't hit you, he didn't talk to you. You would have been accused of murder because you didn't wait for somebody to pull up to you with a gun and start blasting you through your car window before you shot him. Okay, but because he was off duty and this wasn't a traffic stop, he's going to be treated just like everybody else. And that's not right. I don't think that he should be accused of murder in this case. And I don't think the cops should be getting away with murder just because they're wearing a gun and a badge and a uniform. That is the essential problem. And I don't think that the answer is to offer blacks the opportunity to join the police or to start talking about numbers and statistics. You got a problem, deal with that problem. Stop talking about, but we only shoot 5% of the blacks that get shot. That's not a good comeback. That's not an answer. Sorry. That's borderline patronizing and borderline an insult to the intelligence of blacks nationwide, of anyone nationwide, to say, oh, we're a small percentage of the problem that is you getting shot or your people getting shot.